Hello everybody. Today in this video we're going to be talking about one new topic, which is the string variables. We have been using the string variables for many times before in plotting and in other things, but today we're going to be talking about it more specifically and know how to deal with these string variables, understand how Matlab sees the string variables, because we're gonna use it in the future. So just as a quick refreshment, we can enter some variables to Matlab. So you can define a number as 1, 2, 3, and this is how it looks like here, and we know it's a number, or it's a matrix. You can define what we used to call a function handle, which is another type of input that we can define to Matlab. We can say 2 multiplied by x plus 5, and it tells you it's a function handle, and it usually takes, or it always takes, this icon. This is the shape of the icon. And now we will define one new variable, which is the string variables. We used to put these two apostrophes and type text in between. We used to do this when we define the axis titles, the plot title, put the formatting of the data series, like the marker color, the line color, the marker size, anything like this. So I can say now string variable. And now it's defined as one new type of icons. It has these two compartments. Each has a letter C and H, and it tells you it's a character. And so the way Matlab deals with this is different than dealing with these two. And it's usually used to put text as it appears to you now. You can do some kind of calculations, not calculations, but some operations to this string variable. So you can say, for instance, that I want to get the size of J, and it tells you it's 1 and 15, so it's 1 row and 15 columns. Each one of these columns stand for one of these characters. So this is the first character, second, third, fourth, and this is the 15th one. You can also search for specific letter in or character in the string variable. So I can use what's called find str. So it looks for something in the string. Which string I'm looking in is, or searching in, is J, and the letter, for instance, I would put A, and it tells you it's in number 9 and 12. So this is 9 and this is 12, so you can search for whatever character that you're interested in inside the string variable. These two are not very important, but the next thing, or the next point, is extremely important. And we used to face something like this in Microsoft Excel before. But when you put a number and you and you think it is a number, but Matlab or Excel used to see it as a character. It's just not a number. In Excel, it usually produces errors if you do operations to these not numbers thing. But here it's not like this. For instance, if I define M as let's say 95. So now M is a string variable. This is how it looks like here, as string variable. You might think it's a number, but it's actually not a number. To test this, you can multiply 2 by M, and you'd expect this to be 190, but the product would be totally different thing. And what Matlab now does is that Matlab multiplies 2 by each one of these two characters. We saw that before. This is each one of them is a specific character in the string variable. So it multiplies 2 by 9 and 2 by 5, and you'd expect 2 by 9 to be 18, but it's not 18. And this is because each one of these numbers, or letters, or whatever thing you put in, or the special characters you put in the string variables, it corresponds to a number in the software. So it's kind of coding thing that 9 corresponds to another number, 5 corresponds to another number, A corresponds to a number, B corresponds to a number, and that's why you can multiply 2 by J. For instance, we have J here, it has no numbers, but you see it's giving you 15 numbers. This is the answer, it's 1 by 15 because it multiplied 2 by each one of them. Or to make it easier for us, I will multiply this by 1. So S stands for 115, T stands for 116, R stands for 114. I don't know why, but this is how the code is made. So the point I want to make clear is that having the number in string variables does not make it a number. It is a string, and dealing with this is pretty different from dealing with numbers, as we saw here. In many cases, we would have numbers that we want to convert into strings. Like what we said in the previous video, you had the output of the program that calculates the specific volume, and you want to put the output as a text that includes this volume or a specific volume of the gas is, and to get this number, whatever number you get from the program, and convert it into string that can be put with the other text in the same line, so that you would have the number entered into a text, entered into a text. So I would clear this, and we will see. So we have J is the string variable. Yeah, one other thing I forgot. Let's say you wanna type n. You would say n equals Matlab's videos. So you would notice that before or while we start writing, that once you put this apostrophe, the text is in red, and once you put the other apostrophe, it turns into purple. It means that the string variable is done. And if you want to type something that includes an apostrophe, this text has an apostrophe and then S. So you feel that this is not seen as the rest of the text, and to get this fixed, you just put 2 apostrophes. So Matlab understands that you are not ending the string variable, you just want to put 1 apostrophe. So back to the number and text issue. So we have J as string variable and N as string variable. That's good. And we had the M, which is the 95. So now let's say I want to convert this into a number, or we have already G, or let's say G equals 100. So I want to convert this G into a string. So now it is a number. You multiply G by 2, it is 200. So it is a number, not a string. So there is a function that's called number to string. So it's num to str. I would call it as K, uppercase K, or P. So it's number to string of what is the variable. It is G. So now it puts P as 100, and now if you multiply P by 2, it's giving you 3 numbers, because it's not multiplying a number, it's multiplying a string. So this is one way. You can make it the other way. You can say I want to convert string to number, and then you would enter the string that you want to convert into number, which is P. So now O is 100, you multiply O by 2, it is 200 back. So you can go back and forth, and of course we don't need to say that this has to be a number and this has to be a string that includes a number. I have not tried before to put any normal string that does not have numbers, but let's say I would put a string, the simplest string. We don't have it now. I will put J and see. So now it's giving you an empty matrix, and this empty matrix means that there is no numbers in here that can be converted into a number inside the string. So it doesn't include any numbers. So you have to put here a string that includes numbers, not any string. So it's important to know how MATLAB sees the strings and how to deal with them. I'll end now and continue in next video. Inshallah. Goodbye.